first of all, like, can you tell us a bit about yourself more, your journey and experience, and also tell us about UGFS, and we want to know more about your strategy regarding AI and deep tech specifically.
Thank you. Thank you for this occasion. Thank you everyone for being here. And before the lunch, it's it's tough. So I think my name is Mohamed Salah. I'm my job is financial analyst. I worked in the financial market. Now I am in my 30 years. So it's too far. I worked in the stock market for listed companies, equity, etc. And beginning 2008, I found UGFS North Africa is an investment company, alongside with the Kuwaitan entities that wanted by the past to invest in Tunisia, and it was the for them. But I was one of who convinced them about this and way of to invest indirectly in Tunisia, because the market is very small for them. So the theory and the rationale for investment for us was to fund an investment company, and this investment company will launch funds, and these funds will directly invest in companies. In the beginning, it was like a private equity fund, a very classic one. We are invested in SMEs, we are agnostic, etc. And in 2010, let's say 11, it was like a meeting with the guys from Tunisia who, after the revolution, very important, that wanted to let's say, give back to the community. They were from diaspora, they were entrepreneurs, and saying, okay, what we can do for the young people, what we can do for entrepreneurship. And it was the first time, to be honest with you, it was the first time I heard about startups. So they learned to me, friends of me, learned to me what is startups, what is incubators, what is accelerators, etc. And we began this experience. As of today, it was like a very small fund. It was called Capitalise. It was 100,000 Tunisian dinar. It was like 10 investors, business angels in majority, with UGFS, and we started this journey. We started this journey with very small money, and as of today, we run more than 50 million Tunisian dinar, and we succeed to invest more than 120 startups. Most of the labelized startups, and we have very good track record about how to accompany innovative guys to set up their business and to carry on and to monitor their business and trying to help them to grow.
Okay, thank you. That's a very impressive journey, I would say. Thanks to your extensive experience in investing and supporting startups, I want to focus more on the African context. Okay, so I want to know from you, what are the trends that you are seeing currently on the African market in terms of investing in deep tech and AI? What are things that are really catching attention?
Yes. First of all, the approach of African startups is very particular, let's say, and compared to the developing countries. I will make just like a comparison or two cluster, developing countries and developed countries. So this is a little bit different because the startups in Africa are moving and are acting in very particular environment. You know, it's like informal environment, not very sophisticated. We have problems with the administration, with regulation, and we are. But in the other hand, we have very important, let's say, challenges, difficulties, problems, and the approach of African startups, entrepreneurs, was that how to resolve or how to address these challenges. And I think that the deep tech and the AI was one of the solutions how to address these particular problems and how to resolve most of the problems in the community, in the society, let's say, regarding the that's why we have some development about, for example, the fintech. Fintech is everywhere in Africa, and it was an answer of non-bankable communities that don't have any access to traditional banks. So the digital was there to address this kind of problem. But for my own opinion, it's not sufficient. I mean that we don't need to be in our comfort zone, but okay, this is fintech solutions, also with the e-commerce and also with the mobility, but we need to address more problems about the access to finance and to access to market for and the development of markets in general for African countries. This is my opinion. Okay, it's a good track now about fintech and about e-commerce and mobility, but it's not enough. Because at the end of the day, we have other problems regarding education, agriculture, also the question of health tech, and also about natural resources that are very important in African countries, and we are not able now to evaluate and to make added value from these resources, and we are against developed countries where we are exporting gross materials, etc. We need to work in this area.
Absolutely, and you actually took me to my next question. So, there has been a lot of talk about how the context here in Africa is very different from other places in the world. There are big challenges that are facing startups and non-startups in general that are facing the society. And when talking about AI and deep tech, we always talk about, I would say, like fancy concepts, as you said, like fintech or things that are not really sometimes solving the issues that we have on the ground. So again, from your experience and from the startups that you have seen so far, what do you think are the main industries or that needs, I would say, like solutions? Or
Yes. Starting from solutions, for example, I will take the sector of healthcare. Right? So in Africa, we have not enough doctors and enough, hospitals, etc. So we can use the digital tools in order to make telemedicine, for example, in order to make all the online services that can be afforded for patients, for people, with this technology, so we can have this kind of affordability of the services to this. So the technology will come and find a solution for this. Maybe it's not the same challenges for developing countries. So in Africa, we can try to, because we don't have enough doctors, we can try to work on this kind of affordability of the services through the technology. Another example about the edtech. Education technology addressed to education, and we can gain a lot of resources. Not to I'm not against constructing schools, for example, but it will be very costly in African countries. Maybe we have another business model by edtech, and we can, with internet and with the digital tools, we can attract and we can source and we can touch base a lot of people without having invested a lot. Again, with energy, with the micro energy, I think that energy also is something that will be considered. I will take the example of Tunisia, for example. Tunisia, the investment in energy was to make like lines to all the points and for water and for accessibility for water and for electricity. I remember that the officials and politicians said, okay, we have 100% of coverage of electricity through these lines, these long lines and very costly, etc. So in Africa, it's not the same. I mean, in other countries now, we need to think about how to afford and how to make it accessible, the energy with new and very smart solutions, with micro energy, for example, and having this kind of auto consumption, efficiency, etc. So we are really, there is a lot of markets behind this. I will finish with a final example. Okay, this is a final example. So it's for health tech, ed tech, and also the energy and this accessibility to energy through the smart solutions.
Right. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. These are all, I think, very good examples. I'm supposed to ask, but I wanted also to add another example here. I would say, like, I was really impressed by the work that's being done by some startups on addressing some issues with agriculture as well. It's one of the fields that needs a lot of attention. There's, like, I mean, food security is very important, especially with the growing number of people and, like, growth in population in different countries in Africa, and using AI to help produce more and to help, like, also have healthier produce is very important, and is one of the, like, solution addressing African problems, I'd say.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Moving to my next question. So we talked about the challenges, and we talked about what I'd say, like, the startups are doing, and the investors, how are they supporting them. We didn't also talk about how the governments are intervening in terms of supporting investors invest in startups to solve these issues. So what's happening? How's the situation there?
The situation is the situation. I mean that there is a lack of awareness from the government about the potential and the opportunity to work with startups, really. So one of the main important variables to develop startups is this kind of what we call customer awareness or legitimacy from customers. And one of the customers of the startups are governments. So this is something that should be addressed by African governments to say that this is a huge opportunity because we will have solutions less costly, I mean, with lower cost, other than having huge investments, etc. So, for example, for agriculture, if you will take this kind of, productivity on agriculture, then we will invest less than this. And one of the challenges of African governments is about financing and debt financing, etc. So if they can find solutions with less capital expenditure, this is something that could be very, very important for them. So for me, it's crucial, it's important, it's a priority that governments and public and private sector will work together, closely together, in order to, develop things. I think the Tunisian example is very, very, very important with the Startup Act. It's like an engagement for the government to lead a trend of startups, and now we have this trend now having its own path, and I think that there is good results about this. And it has given like a hope for young people and entrepreneurs to say, okay, you can change your reality, and you can have you can be a strand of change for the society.
We have just 5 minutes left, so I wanted to mix two questions in one. So a deep dive into Tunisia specifically. I wanted to know what are the challenges for investment in deep tech and AI, and also if you have any advice for investors who are interested in investing in Tunisian startups.
So I will start from the statistics, from figures. Now, if we analyze the labelized startups in Tunisia, we have more than 30%, 36% of these startups are in the field of deep tech and AI. This is a trend in Tunisia, and this is a country of deep tech, obviously, because one, we have good talents, so they engineers and people in the AI and in technology. So it's very important, but also because the market is now so large and it's small, so they were let's say driven by their own realities. So this is very important. So this is a trend. For my own portfolio, because I have like 120, this is the same trend. So we have above 30% of startups that are in the fintech and the deep tech. And by track record, we consider that companies that are addressing such solutions with good talents and I think good monitoring and accompaniment, etc., they can succeed, and we are very keen, and I encourage investors to invest. Our main exit was in the biotechnology, and it was like extraction from natural what is rosemary. So this is chemist guys who have developed a solution, very innovative solution about how to extract the rosemary from the rosemary molecules using the CO2 technology. It's so they are now selling their companies with a value of $20 million US, and we know that this company will have a very good future, because they are addressing they are selling their products to very important companies. Also, we have other good track record and exits.